Good afternoon, subscribers, viewers, and everyone who's going to watch this video. My name is Mxolisi Ncube. I'm a journalist and I'm based in Johannesburg. Today I'm going to respond to more questions that have been sent to us. Yesterday I responded to questions about the alleged availability of new permit options for Zimbabweans, following some questions that we were asked. But it apparently appears that the question that I answered left out, or these answers that I provided rather left out some of the questions that people were asking, because most of them say that what they were asking about is the touted or much vaunted new paper on new white paper on international migration, which provides for some visas for African nationals. So today I'm going to talk about the three visa options that are available under the white paper on international migration, which was gazetted in July 2017, which is also mentioned briefly in the new labor migration policy that is in circulation right now, and will remain in circulation for 90 days for people to make their deliberations. South Africans, Southern African governments, and other stakeholders. So it's mentioned there the white paper on international migration, which we hope is going to be introduced when the new labor migration policy takes effect. So the white paper on international migration has three options, or three permit options rather, for SADC citizens. The first option is for workers from the SADC region, and it's called the SADC Special Work Visa. It allows the holder to work in South Africa for a prescribed period of time. The holders of this visa will not progress to for permanent residence on the number of years they have spent in South Africa. It will be quota-based and will be implemented through bilateral agreements between governments, which will specify the responsibilities for the signatory and contracting states. The number of visas will be offered partly on a political decision, and it will be informed by the labor market dynamics. So it's a political decision, and it will be dependent on the available vacancies for a certain quota at a certain province of South Africa, as determined by the labor demands in those particular areas, the market demands in those particular areas. So in a way, it almost mirrors the Zimbabwe special dispensation permits, but this one will be quota-based and will be determined between the signatory states that are the South African government and the state or the country of origin of the applicant. The third one is the SADC Traders Visa. It is a long-term multiple entry visa for cross-border traders who enter and exit South Africa frequently. It also has provisions for a trusted traveler e-visa system. So this one is self-explanatory. Then the third one is called the SADC Small Medium Enterprise Visa. It is for the self-employed people and small business owners. As long as these immigrants pay taxes and follow SA business regulations, they should be welcomed. The SA Revenue Services company registration could form part of the visa application process. A quota can be considered for competitiveness concerns. So these are the three visas that are provided for under the white paper on international migration, which has not been implemented yet, although it was gazetted by the South African government in July 2017. So it provides, that white paper provides for the net benefits of policy interventions like these, in the sense that it relieves pressure on asylum seeker management system. You know that some of the economic migrants who want to work and live in South Africa have been, because of the cumbersome process of applying for the work visa and the requirements that are above the reach of some of these migrants. So they've been using the asylum seeker system to get the asylum seeker permits so that they can live and work in South Africa on that temporary basis and continue to go there to renew their permits, the asylum seeker permits. So this cuts that backlog. You know that South Africa has millions in terms of the backlog in the asylum seeker system, and some of those people who apply do not even qualify to be refugees in South Africa. It also reduces the pressure on wages, the downward pressure on wages and conditions in the lower end of the economy following from the abuse of migrants by employers. Uh, Migrants are being exploited, especially by unscrupulous employers who underpay them because they don't have documents, overwork them, and do not even give them certain rights because they are undocumented in South Africa. So this new visa system, or this new the white paper on international migration as a policy intervention, seeks to safeguard those things from happening. It improves social cohesion, and citizens' perceptions of migrants will improve. So without migrants that are readily available for exploitation, there will be no migrants, or very fewer migrants who will be ready to work for peanuts. So we hope that, or the government of South Africa rather, hopes that rolling out the white paper on international migration will assist in alleviating these problems and allowing migrants to join labor unions in South Africa, to sit in labor bodies in South Africa, or labor representative unions or bodies in South Africa, so that they can advocate for their own rights at par with South Africans, so that the employment field becomes level for both migrants and South Africans. You would understand that South Africans are complaining, and genuinely so, that some employers are overlooking them for migrants so that they can exploit them. And that is basically because most or some of these migrants in the general category do not have the permits to work legally in South Africa, and therefore this has given some unscrupulous employers an avenue to exploit them. And lastly, it reduces the revolving door costly deportations to neighboring countries. So when we have millions of people undocumented in the country, the government has to spend uh, monies every month arresting and deporting them in these operations that are targeting undocumented people. So this white paper on international migration, once it takes effect and regulates and formalizes the presence of citizens from the SADC countries, will hopefully address this issue of people having to be arrested and deported. So those are the answers to the questions that we were asked. But if you have more questions, you can send them via the comment section of this underneath this video, and we'll respond to them based on the number and importance of those permits. But continue to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it, so that we move on and we do not continue to address concerns that have been raised and that we've addressed before. Then somebody is asking, when do we start applying, and what are requirements, and how to apply for SADC work visa? Well, as I said, this is a white paper on international migration, which was gazetted 4 years, for almost 5 years ago, in 2017. That was in July. It hasn't been rolled out as a policy yet. So those visas that I spoke to, or I spoke about, have not yet been rolled out. They are not in place as yet. The application process hasn't begun, but we hope that after the 90 days that was given to the new labor migration policy, when it gets to be implemented, it is our hope. We're not certain about that happening, but it is our hope that then this white paper on international migration and these visas will take effect. So until then, we hope and continue to pray for the best. Thank you very much. Meet you in the next broadcast.